Hey, Next Level Creators. This is Shane Mitchell at Cypher Studios. Just here to tell my story a little bit. Started off years ago in the film industry. Found that had no constant source of income, so I started searching, looking for something that would give me, monthly recurring revenue. When I came along, Next Level Creators, and it was mind blown. And started that a couple months ago, and now I'm said I got a couple of monthly recurring clients, and I'm building. I have several more in the pipeline, looking to close and start off the year with a bang.
That's right. And so thank you for joining us today, Shane. Really appreciate you taking the time. And for anyone who's a filmmaker, video creator who wants to add some predictable revenue to their asset class, instead of doing projects all the time, you get into an asset class where you're getting clients that pay you repeatedly. This interview is going to be really valuable because that's exactly what Shane has been able to do here. And he's continuously growing that type of asset in his business of monthly recurring revenue. And so Shane, tell me a little bit about your history. I know you've got multiple businesses within the film industry. Walk me through when you got started and the businesses that you have today.
All right. So, I started off, I used to be, I was in the military, I was actually an engineer. And a bunch of friends of mine, we decided that we wanted to make a movie, and none of us knew anything about it, So we bought a bunch of expensive gear that we probably shouldn't have. Yeah. And we did it. We made our first movie. That was 12 years ago. And from that point, I got hooked. And I've actually changed careers. And 2014, I actually quit my job to be a full-time filmmaker, right? And so I started off with a drone company. I was flying drones, doing I tried to do everything with drones and realized that you have to niche. One of the key things, especially that we learned in this thing, is you have to niche, right? Being a jack of all trades does not pay very well. Yeah. Being a master does.
Yes.
And so with the drone company, I quickly learned what niches paid, and I focused with those, right? So I got into the real estate industry, doing real estate videos and real estate photos. Then about 3 years ago, I started Cypher Studios, and I actually got into full video production and bought more expensive cameras. And but what I found is you get a lot of clients. You can hit the ground, you can run, you can constantly prospect, and the clients will do 1 or 2 videos with you, but then don't know how to utilize that video to the full potential, and they don't put that value of what you put together. They don't have the same dollar value that they put into it.
Sure.
Right. So that the return on investment. And so what I was doing is I was looking for something that would keep those clients with me and keep them paying me. And having a constant source of income really allows you to stabilize being an entrepreneur, being a filmmaker, and allows you to expand and work on your own craft. And so when I was searching for how to do this and coming up with different schemes and methods, I tried different methods, didn't work. And that's when I found Next Level Creators, and was able to, a bell went off, and I was like, here it is. Yeah. I talked to John on the phone, and he was, in military background. He was pretty much, where's your credit card? And and I was like, yeah, I have no way to say no. There's nothing in me that can say no. So I gave him my credit card, and here I am. And now I've been able to take what I've learned from you guys and actually put it into action. Knowledge without action leads to nothing. Knowledge with action is when you actually start to make money.
Exactly.
That's led me to where I am today. And, I've got a couple of nice clients on already signed up. And like I said, I have several on the pipeline right now.
So tell me about these clients you got signed up for everyone, so that way they can understand the difference between the economic models, right? Because you have these two clients, and again, one of the big premises with Next Level Creators is everything we do is value based, right?
Right.
So if you're going to charge $1,000 a month, $2,000, $4,000 a month, we should be giving $10,000, $20,000, $40,000 a month in ROI or sales or value to these people through that exchange. So what kind of numbers are you doing for these clients, and how is the relationship going so far?
So, with this, I've got one client that is on, right now we've started on just a content retainer, right? So we're developing all the content, and also because of the skills of my team, I've got all their social media management and other things coming on. A lot of clients want to test the waters, make sure everything's going to work, and then build up. So what I've done is I've built a model with them where I start off slow, but we're only putting in the work that is being paid for.
Yes.
And then with the, premise, and it's in the contract that we will double or triple, the monthly recurring. So, for instance, with one client starting off at $1,000 a month, with that, we've built out their social media presence, and we've put together some content for them. Right.
Yeah.
Now, the next month we double that. We go to $2,000. Now we start throwing in some video. And the month after that, it's going to $4,000, and we're putting in some videos, some edit. We're doing some lives, and we're actually developing brand content for them.
Yeah.
Right. And this is set right now in the contract by the end of 1 year to be at $10,000.
That's a lot of
right now, because everything's happening so fast and they're enjoying it. We're actually talking about doubling that.
Really?
Before then. So,
and see, that's one of the things I like about that approach of when you open up a relationship, I kind of compare it to asking for marriage on the first date. Probably not the best idea, right?
Yeah.
But, if you like someone, when you first meet him, you should ask him out on a date, not marriage. And this is kind of your way of doing that. It's a lot of filmmakers do the free to fee model where they'll work for free and then they'll charge a fee. Not a huge fan of that. If you know what you're doing with a camera, you don't need to do free to fee, right? If you don't know what you're doing with the camera, all right, go do some free to fee because you could learn how to use the thing and then start charging. But overall, just charge for the value you're offering, and don't go for a home run every time. Start small and work your way up. And the beautiful thing about these types of clients, it sounds like what you're really getting into, is because you are good at what you do. You started small and the client's asking you for more.
Exactly. And one of the things I do is I make sure I set the expectations. And something I learned early on is set the expectations here and deliver here, and then you're going to have happy clients.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's what we've been able to do. And that client is actually now referring me to 3 other clients. So, you know what I mean? It's a snowball effect.
Yep. And that's a snowball effect of smart business strategy, transitioning to the recurring revenue model with more value packed into your offer, and being good at what you do, right? You have to be good at what you do.
You have to have some skills.
You do. So you're doing that right. And so Shane, getting into Next Level Creators, like you said, when you saw our marketing, when you got on the phone with John, you had your conversation, light bulbs, flickers were going off of, this is what I want to do. As you were going through the program, Q&A calls, all the support, what have been your biggest takeaways, the biggest lessons that have made an impact on you so far?
So one of the things, I tried to just hit the ball and run and just try and go through all the content as fast as I could. And that hurt. It hurt my brain. There's a lot of content. And so what I've had to do was back up and actually start implementing the steps as you're going through it. And, I'm ex-military. I'm a little hard-headed. You tell me to do that at the very beginning. Just work a project through it. And no, I'm going to get through it all.
Yeah.
And so, I had to, step back and start over. And, but actually working through the process, you actually make it intrinsic and you learn how to do it yourself. So that was one of my biggest
Focus.
takeaways.
Focus. And that,
listen to what you told me at the beginning.
yeah. It's the car that wants to go on a long journey, right? If you're doing it at night, you only have to see about 50 to 100 feet in front of you that your headlights illuminate. You don't need to see what the next city looks like. And that's what focus is all about. It's about staying prioritized on that thing you should do right now to gain momentum today.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was a big lesson for you. I struggle with that at times as well. I think we all do.
It's hard being a big picture person.
It is. It is. And so that focus helped. Were there any other lessons that have really made an impact on you so far?
Specific lessons through the program?
Yeah.
The one that, helped me was I didn't know how to do Facebook advertising, stuff like that. So following that, the Facebook plan and, learning about the algorithms, the secret sauce formula that you have put together, actually putting that together, implementing it, seeing how it looks on spreadsheets.
Yeah,
there goes my brain.
That's all right. So Facebook algorithm, that is a crazy thing to understand how smart that system is. It really is. The algorithm is such a powerful tool that we all have access to if we learn how to leverage it.
And it's it's ever changing. So having one of the benefits of the Next Level Creators is having that group that can be like, hey, something's changing. Let's as a group, let's look at how we can utilize this tool.
Yeah.
Utilize this change to our advantage. Yeah. How can we take this and leverage it for our clients?
Exactly. And so focus, learning the intricacies of how to use distribution with your films, with your videos, and with your photos to actually get results for clients. Those are the biggest takeaways. You've gotten some monthly recurring revenue going in your business, which is phenomenal. Where do you see yourself moving now into 2020 here? Because we're in December of 2019 for anyone watching. in 2020 through the next decade ahead, right? I mean, it's 2020 and 2030. Everyone's terrified of what's happening in the video space, all the competitors, all these things going on. I see it as the best environment to be a filmmaker that has ever existed. Curious how you see it and where you see yourself going.
So I've got a lot of plans for my studio. I actually have a physical studio building. And so I have a lot of plans with that business front to include eventual franchising in the next 3 years, multiple locations. And, like you, I believe the outlook for video creators is just really amazing. The potential, nowadays you have, tools in your pocket that allow you to create. And if you know the fundamentals of video production, if you understand, how to create video, how to use the tools that are at your disposal, you can make amazing works of art. With our society and with how everything is in this day and age, video is only going to get more powerful.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The statistics of videos online right now, it's only going to get, it's going to be 100%. All those numbers are going to hit 100%. People are going to eventually have, maybe 2050, 2060, they're going to have cybernetics plugged into their head and just be watching videos all the time. But as far as, the competition is, I don't feel there's too much competition because there's a difference between skilled creators and unskilled creators. Businesses are always going to have a need for professionals to produce their content. I have a rule in business, and it's do what you do best and hire the rest.
Yeah.
If you're in the business of pharmaceuticals, you don't know how to run a camera probably as well as I do.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be business there for people that put the effort in and to learn the craft.
Agreed. And I think the future is you have to have the business savvy as well as the creator ability, right? And if you can
Two
pair
halves of
those,
one brain.
yep, you have to be able to pair the right and the left brain together, because solving problems requires logical, analytical thinking as well as creative thinking, right? And video is such a creative thing, but when you think about it, it's also using analytical tools. I mean, you need an engineer to make a camera, my friends. And as creative, you get to be a creative problem solver with video, which is the most exciting, the funnest thing I think about business today, is solving problems in a creative way.
Right.
And we're very fortunate we get the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And so in 2020, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, with the background in engineering, I'm always root cause analysis on everything, which is, allowed me to stay ahead with my business. Like when I said I was trying to do everything and then realized I wasn't making any money, but when I narrowed, I was able to troubleshoot and find out where money was coming in and just focus all my energy on that.
Yep.
That is, like you said, you have to be able to analyze as well as be creative.
Yeah, I think that's the secret. That's the key to success is analyzing where those successes are actually happening, doubling down on them, and extracting the waste, removing the waste, because there's so much inefficiency in our lives. If we can get rid of that inefficiency, we're such productive creatures.
Well, and even with next level creators, you're teaching that optimization in everything that you do. From your you have KPIs in the advertising realm, but you also have KPIs in your business.
Yeah.
All you have to do is, look at, analyze, and extrapolate and optimize.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the fun things for me is I have a very analytical mind, 100%. But then tapping into that creative aspect when I get to use the video, use the story, use the different emotional experiences we get to convey, that's where things become just a whole new level of excitement from a business standpoint, right?
Right.
As that story aspect and the beauty of film and video. So we kind of got sidetracked there on that question, but moving into 2020 for your business, where are you taking things? Like you said, you have a studio, you see a lot of opportunities there.
Yes.
By the end of 2020, what are your objectives? You want to have a handful of recurring clients and the studio doing really well? Is that the objective?
Yes. So my monthly recurring revenue, I'm hoping to, well, I shouldn't say I'm hoping, I'm planning on having 5 to 7 monthly recurring clients in 2 niches that I'm going after. And then with the studio, I have plans for that to have. It's a co-op studio is how I have it set up. So other filmmakers can come in and utilize the tools that are here to create their own content. But I'm targeting mostly business professionals, having them come in and create their own content, just charging them an hourly fee, but signing them up on a monthly recurring plan.
You're smart because business owners need monthly content too.
Exactly.
Because the need is nurturing an audience versus, I'm just going to get your attention once, tell you something, and wave goodbye. It's nurturing that group of people every single month to develop a relationship. So that way they buy once, they buy twice, they buy 30 times. But through that process, you give them so much value that everything that you're offering is worth it. That's fantastic. That's a phenomenal idea.
That's what I pass on to the clients is, this day and age, everything is done. Social media is such a powerful tool. If you're not utilizing it, with a proper strategy where you have constant content being delivered, you either need to curate it yourself or hire someone like me and my team to do it for you.
Yeah.
I happen to have a plan for that as well.
We do as well. Awesome, Shane. I appreciate you taking the time to step out of your busy schedule to share, your experience with us here at Next Level Creators. And Everyone in the community will get to watch this and comment and say congratulations, and of course learn from your experience. Were there any other final, any final words, or was there one thing that you would recommend to other filmmakers or video creators who are trying to grow? What would be that thing that you would recommend to them, or that perhaps you learned over the past year that's made the biggest impact for you?
Stay focused. Use checklists. Use a calendar. If it's something that needs to be done, write it down. In one way, you don't have to physically write a pen and paper. I use my phone, my calendar, my notepad on the calendar, on that, and I set tasks and reminders.
Mm-hmm.
Being a creative, sometimes I feel that we can get oversaturated, and you get into an edit, next thing you know, it's 7 hours have passed and you're like, where did my day go?
Yeah.
But if you have something that's giving you reminders and notifications, it's easy to stay on task and not get sidetracked.
Yeah. So keep that pristine focus, my friends, because that's the way forward.
Focus is definitely key.
If we're going all over the place, we're only going to get so far, but the moment we go in one direction, we can go quite far.
What I tell people is, you only have 100% of your time. If you have 10 projects, you can only dedicate 10% of your time to each project. So how far is it going to move along? Yeah.
I say that as far as the number of offers you have, the number of markets you select and target, even just from the number of mentors you have, the number of just everything comes down to that. You can only do so much of one thing. So if you want to travel a long distance, select a focus, select a point, and then go all in on those things that will help you get there. And don't be afraid to be flexible along the way. So
it's good to reach out and try and build a concrete team. Like here at the studio, I have a team that just really allows me to focus my time and efforts on what is actually, producing the most for the studio.
Yeah.
And, I have, a team with videographers and editors, and luckily I've been able to produce, put that together. But if you can build a small, close-knit team that all have the same focus and same desire and drive, then, that 100% of your time gets added to their 100% of their time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of the mechanisms of scale.
Exactly.
Is leveraging other people's hours in the day. And so it's actually one of the humans are great for scaling, but they can also come with their own bag of problems and challenges of being human beings. And we all have challenges behaviorally, things we don't like to do, things that are difficult to work on. So it's always a matter of how do we scale and what are the best paths to scale. Humans can be a great one. There are also
others. A great one, but can also be a hindrance.
Make sure you choose the right.
That's why, exactly. I was going to say, make sure it's a close-knit team.
Yeah, you're working with the good people, and proximity is power. So if you have that team next to you, if you're in the same location, you can get massive value from that. The last question I have for you here today, Shane, is, if you look back on where you were before, would you join Next Level Creators or recommend someone who is in your situation join, and why?
Yes, totally. This, it's not only a great resource, it's a great, I've learned so much just going through the program, but there's also a community, and the community has helped a lot as well. Being able to have a sounding board of people that are not only of the same mindset, but also have gone through the same, training and curriculum as you. It's easy to be able to reference back to things like, hey, I know there was a module on it, but I can't remember what it was. Can someone help me out? And bam, here's a link. So, and there's so much content, so much value to what you've produced that I've gotten my ROI on the product. You know what I mean? So, would I do it again? Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's the beautiful thing is it never stops either. we're always, business is a never ending journey to mastery, and mastery is accepting the journey of being a lifelong student.
Exactly. I've got a
So-
bookshelf full of books that I've read more than once.
Exactly. So the whole process of growing a video agency and running these models is just, it's nonstop. We never actually end. We continuously improve and grow. And then we just transcend different needs, really, is all, which is the fun aspect of it. So I look forward to helping you reach the next level. And I appreciate you sharing your feedback and experience, Shane. It means a lot to me. And I hope for anyone who's watching this, who's been on the fence, maybe you get off the fence and you join, or at least you learn something from Shane's experience, because he's doing big things. He's got a studio. He's got real people that work with him and for him, and he's using real systems to grow. And he's got the mindset for success, which is do what it takes with people who are good.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.